On a quiet night at an international airport, a security camera began doing something investigators still struggle to explain. It started rewinding itself. On November 14, 2018, Westridge International Airport was operating as it always did. Even late at night, thousands of passengers continued moving through the terminals, while aircraft arrived and departed from destinations around the world. Inside the airport surveillance operations center, security personnel monitored hundreds of camera feeds covering every corner of the facility. For the overnight staff, it appeared to be an ordinary shift. David Morris, a veteran surveillance operator, spent his evening reviewing live camera feeds and logging routine activity reports. Nearby, fellow operator Lena Cho monitored gate areas and terminal corridors. The atmosphere inside the operations center was calm, with conversations revolving around routine traffic patterns and the long hours that remained before sunrise. At approximately 11:48 p.m., that routine was interrupted. One of the monitors suddenly froze. The feed came from camera T14, a surveillance unit overlooking a corridor in Terminal C. David initially assumed it was a minor technical issue. Camera freezes were not unheard of, and most were resolved within seconds. As he prepared to report the malfunction, Lena noticed something unusual. The timestamp displayed on the monitor was moving backward. At first, neither operator fully understood what they were seeing. The footage itself appeared to be reversing. Travelers walked backward through the corridor. Reflections moved in reverse across the polished floor. Automatic doors closed before opening. Every movement unfolded exactly as though someone had pressed a rewind button. The problem was that nobody had. The feed was supposed to be live. Other members of the surveillance team gathered around the monitor. Their supervisor, Mark Ellis, quickly joined them. Assuming a software malfunction, he ordered immediate diagnostic checks on the camera network and video management system. Within minutes, technicians reviewed the system's health reports. No faults were detected. The network was stable. The servers were functioning normally. There were no signs of data corruption, synchronization errors, or unauthorized access. By every measurable standard, the surveillance system appeared to be operating correctly. Then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the rewind stopped. The camera resumed normal operation. The corridor appeared exactly as expected. Passengers walked through the terminal. Cleaning crews moved equipment. Nothing seemed out of place. Although the incident appeared to be over, Mark instructed his team to archive the footage for further review. What initially seemed like a routine precaution would soon become the first step in a much larger investigation. Shortly after midnight, the surveillance team began examining the recording frame by frame. Their goal was simple: determine what caused the unusual rewind event. As they reviewed the footage, Lena paused on a particular frame. Near the far end of the corridor, partially concealed beside a support column, stood a person. The figure appeared motionless. No one in the room remembered seeing them. Believing it might be an optical illusion, the team loaded the original recording from the same moment. The corridor looked identical. The support column was visible. The surrounding area appeared unchanged, but the figure was gone. The space where the person had appeared during the rewind sequence was completely empty in the original recording. Confused, the team replayed both versions repeatedly. Each time, the same result emerged. During the rewind event, the unidentified figure could be seen standing near the column. During the original recording, no such person was visible. For experienced surveillance professionals, the discovery made no sense. Equipment failures could distort images. Software glitches could corrupt recordings. Human operators could overlook details. But none of those explanations accounted for footage that appeared to reveal information absent from the original source. Years later, Mark Ellis will recall that moment as the point when the incident stopped being a technical problem and became a mystery. The team continued reviewing the archive throughout the night. The more they examined the footage, the more questions emerged. Nobody could identify the individual. No reports mentioned anyone standing in that location. No security alerts had been triggered. Yet the figure remained visible whenever the rewind sequence was played. Then, shortly after 2 a.m., camera T14 froze again. The timestamp began moving backward. The room fell silent. Nobody spoke, because now they knew they were not witnessing an ordinary malfunction. The camera had rewound itself twice. Both incidents had occurred at nearly the same time. Both had revealed details that should not have been there, and investigators were about to discover something even more disturbing. The footage was not simply replaying the past. It appeared to be showing a different version of it. Why the camera was doing this, and what those hidden images actually meant, will become the focus of an investigation that lasted for years.